and I am here talking a little bit quiet because I've got the baby sleeping on my lap. I'm here sitting in the car, just finished a workout in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I figured the wife and I are rotating off our timing. Like, I went into the gym, got a quick workout in for 30-40 minutes just to get what I could done here while I'm traveling, and now we rotated. Amber's in the gym, I'm here watching little kiddo. So hanging out in the car. So I figured what a good time to just do a quick keto and fasting live broadcast, doing some coaching, talking to people, answering some questions. But I do want to make sure, sorry guys, I'm talking a little bit quiet. If you guys can hear me, just let me know. If you can't hear me, if there's any issues, just let me know. I've got the baby sleeping on my lap. What's going on, everybody? Chris Preto, what's going on? You guys make sure you comment where you're watching from. Trisha, what's going on? Catherine in Toronto, what's going on? Uriel in Brazil, awesome. Okay, Adam, what's going on? Agent, good to see you here. Michael in Virginia, what's going on? Wisconsin in the house. Iceland in the house. Okay, everyone can hear me great. That's awesome. Sylvesterone, I think I said your name right. I'm sorry. In France, what's going on? Queens, New York, New Jersey, what's going on in the UK? Austria, Canada, you guys are great. Guys, I want to make sure you can get a lot of likes on this, get a lot of just comments, good engagement going. I'm going to talk this up for about 2 minutes before I start answering some questions and getting down to some science. I just want to wait for quite a few people to jump in here. It's Sunday morning here. Amber and I are in Vegas just for the weekend, simply because for Christmas I'd gotten Amber tickets to see George Strait. So for those of you that don't know, been together since high school. We've been together 14 years, and George Strait was always something that was he's a common denominator for us. Just a great musician. So that's why we're here in Vegas. But anyway, never missing a beat, still getting our workout in. Amber and I are rotating out our workouts while I'm here with little man. Guys, if we can, just get a look at this little guy. Just chilling, just sleeping. So anyway, guys, you guys are awesome. So many people here. We got Courtney in the house. Mark, what's going on in Jersey Shore? What's going on, Matt? He's got Jordan here. Everyone says George Strait rocks. So I've got a good group of people here. What's going on, Mark? Anthony English, good to see you here. France again. We've got Todor in Serbia. What's going on? Kevin says, did I just get in some cardio? I did like kind of a HIIT style workout. So I went in. You know, you guys probably know Amber and I don't drink or anything like that. So Vegas isn't exactly like a crazy town for us. But it's still like being out late, being, you know, the food, the diet's just a little bit off from what it normally is. I feel a little bit just sticky. So I wanted to just get a good high intensity interval training, just workout in. So did some, little bit of a different kind of workout than I would normally do, kettlebell swings, things like that, some burpees. Just wanted to get as much lymphatic fluid moving as possible. So I felt like I had a little bit of a detox effect. Guys, I'm going to get into some questions here. I want to jump right into it because you guys are awesome. And everyone that's here right now has been patiently waiting for me to get to the questions while I just say hello to everybody. So one more quick time before I get rolling. If you guys can, just one more big C of hitting that like button. Everyone that's on here, if you can hit that like button, helps rank this video up a little bit more. And let's go rock and roll into some questions. All right. Let's go. I'm going to just, anyone, if you have, okay, you know what, a good question just came up. Tips for vegans that fast. This is a super good question. I'm going to answer this quickly. The most important thing if you're a vegan that is fasting is during your eating window, it's very imperative that you get in omega-3s, okay? Very imperative, because you're going to zip through your nutrient profile a lot faster when you're fasting to begin with, because you don't have food in your system. So then in the small amount of time you do have to eat, you have to make sure you're getting the kinds of foods that normally vegans are a little bit deficient in. We're talking things like omega-3s, we're talking things like B12. So if you're a vegan that is fasting, try to get some extra B12 in the mix, try to take an omega-3 supplement, just because it's very hard to get those foods on a vegan diet. Does nicotine break a fast? That's a good question. It's interesting. No, it doesn't. But the interesting thing is that nicotine does trigger a metabolic response. So if you're truly doing a true fast, then yes, nicotine would technically break it. God, what's going on? Wow, so many awesome people. Matthias, I asked fasting if you're in school. You know, honestly, just fast a couple of days a week. You know, it's going to help your brain performance quite a bit, so it's really great. Does erythritol break a fast? Erythritol, guys, just so you know, that's things like Truvia. That's the sugar alcohols. I consider erythritol breaking a fast because it is a sugar alcohol. So if you go with something like stevia, straight up stevia, like stevia in the raw, you're good. You're not going to break a fast. But erythritol has a different metabolic effect. Erythritol actually has about 4 calories per gram or something, or sorry, I'm sorry, 3 calories per gram. Actually, I take that back. Some sugar alcohols have 3 calories per gram. I think erythritol has 1.8. I'd have to double check on that. But yeah, pretty much that is going to break a fast. So try to go straight stevia if you can. Guys, we got so many people on here. Can we guys, just to make sure that everyone's here, is hitting that like button? Omega-7 supplements on keto. Yes, definitely take omega-7 supplements if you can. Omega-7s are awesome. Can you gain mass on intermittent fasting? Yes, absolutely you can. You can definitely gain mass when you're in intermittent fasting. Mainly because what's happening is your insulin sensitivity is so high that when you do break your fast, you're in a terrific position to be able to start maximizing your gains simply because you're able to absorb what you're eating. That's why it's so important to eat the right foods when you break your fast. Let's see, we've got so many questions, guys, coming on. Why does my blood sugar stay high in keto? Samuel, this is a good question, and I want to address this. This is actually needs to be a whole separate video. Why does my blood sugar stay high in keto? I had the same issue. So I was trying to figure this out. I was like constantly testing my blood sugar. Even if my ketone bodies were high, my blood sugar was still high too. And I was finding it was really frustrating. I was like sitting at like 90, 95 blood sugar. I'm like, what is going on? It's never this high. So then I started researching it a lot more. And I thought there's something called the dawn phenomenon, or so the dawn effect. And this happens with diabetics a lot. So what happens is the liver dumps a lot of glucose when you start getting low on glucose in an effort to, you know what, hang on one second. I'm going to wipe this screen off. There we go. That's better. My screen was a little bit dirty. So the liver dumps a bunch of glycogen, it dumps a bunch of carbs in an effort to get the blood sugar up. So when the blood sugar drops too much, and if your protein levels are a tad too high, then it can cause your liver to just dump extra glycogen and spill carbs out, especially in between meals. So the trick is dramatically lower your protein for one meal. That's what I tested out. Now, this isn't going to be for everybody. This is for people that find that they have higher blood sugar whenever they are in keto. Try taking one meal and drop the protein down to like 10, 15 grams. Super, super low. Guys, come on, let's get a bunch of likes on here. We've got 700 people on here. I know that we can get a little bit more in the way of thumbs up. I'm doing what I can, taking some time on a Sunday to answer some questions. Any advice for young athletes? Adam, best advice for young athletes that are doing keto and fasting is listen to your body. You know, if you are an athlete that's doing a lot of different kind of performance movements and everything like that, you really have to listen to your body, and sometimes you might just need to add carbs into the equation. That's just all there is to it. And you guys, this is great. We have so many people on this broadcast. If you can you please just share this? If you're watching this right now, just hit that share button, share it to Facebook, share it to YouTube, share it. We can get a lot of people on here so I can answer some questions. There is a like option on the mobile app. I just can't remember where it is. It should be like right on the bottom left. Gosh, you guys are so awesome. Okay, someone says maintaining strength on keto. Tama, that's a really good question. So some people find when they're doing keto is that they end up, 2 weeks into it, they start having this big decline in their overall strength levels, and it's really frustrating. And it's less of a decline in strength, but it's almost like this stale feeling, right? You feel really stale. Like it's like your strength is there for the first 4 or 5 reps, but then after that, it just kind of dies. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can explain it real quick with some science and what's going on. Guys, if you ever feel like you're getting weak when you're on keto, let me tell you what's happening. You are in a situation where your body doesn't have the carbs to be able to create energy through the anaerobic metabolism system. So that means like the repetitions from like 6 to 12, 6 to 15 reps, those repetitions require carbohydrates, okay? The repetitions from like 15 on up, that requires oxygen and fat, called beta oxidation. But what about the reps like 1 through 5, 1 through 6? Well, that utilizes something called the creatine phosphate system. We have a natural system in our body that basically is a chemical reaction that has nothing to do with carbohydrates that gets us through the first few reps. So it's really wild. So then after we get through those first 5 or 6 reps, then all of a sudden we just tank. So basically for the first like 5, 6 reps, we're running on the nervous system, which means that we have the ability to maintain strength. So that's why you talk to so many people that are in keto that can still lift really, really heavy for the first few reps, but then they get to a situation where they just feel stagnant. How do you get around that? Well, the best way to get around it is actually just to work with the way your body is working. So now take this with a grain of salt, okay? But it means to either train in the heavy rep range, in that 4 to 6 rep range if you can, or go the other end of the spectrum and go to the 15 to 20 rep range. So what I'll do is I'll mix it up. 1 day a week, I will have a heavy day. I'll have a heavy day where I decide to go like 4 to 6 reps and, take that tiny bit of risk of injury, because I don't like to increase the odds of an injury. So I don't like lifting in that 6 rep range more than like 1 day a week. And I never do it on the leg day. Yeah, people might make fun of me because I don't go heavy on legs, but I also want to keep my spine intact when I'm 40. So that's just the way that it is. So yeah, and someone says just do both. Matthew, that's a good point. Just play around with it. But for those that are just trying to be healthy, those that are just trying to just live a natural, good, healthy life and utilize keto, just stick in the 15 to 18 rep range and don't worry about going heavy, and you'll be just fine. Matthias, actually, I'm sorry, I already answered one of your questions, even though that was a good question. I want to. W, you ask, should I begin fasting with the 16-8 routine? So the reason that I suggest starting with the 16-8 routine is because it's so easy. Okay, generally we go to bed and we don't eat for 10 hours anyway. It's not that hard to push it to 16. So it's a great way to indoctrinate fasting into your life. That's why I recommend the 16-8. But I will say that the true benefits of fasting start coming in after 16 hours. So I like to push it to 18 to 20 personally, and only do, like maybe 2-3 days a week. Someone says they're having trouble falling asleep when they're in keto. Well, I've got a trick for you. Okay, if you do have carbs, like 20, maybe something like that, allocate them towards the end of the day, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow the insulin to allow tryptophan into the brain. Tryptophan converts into serotonin. Serotonin converts into melatonin, which is what helps you sleep. If you've ever been traveling and you've taken melatonin to help you sleep, well, that's how you get your body to naturally produce it. Tiny bit of carbs. If that means like scaling back on them throughout the course of the day and pushing them towards the end of the day, then that's the way you do it. Guys, take a quick second here to make sure that everyone's just hitting that like button. I want to thank all of you for being here. I mean, it's Sunday morning here in Las Vegas right now, and so many people here spending their Sunday learning. You guys are awesome, and you make my world go round. I was, this sounds so cheesy, but last night, I was at that George Strait concert. There was something like 30,000 people there, huge event. And I'm just looking at how George Strait is out there making eye contact with everybody, and how he truly loves what he does. And it's such a smaller scale, but I mean, I'm like, this is so awesome. Like, I feel the same way when I can hop on a live broadcast and talk to you guys and help you guys and motivate everybody and keep everyone going. And full disclaimer, one of the reasons I wanted to do this broadcast today was because didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Got in late, had Amber's brother in town, flew him into Vegas so that we could go spend a few hours, enjoy this concert, and get a couple hours away from the baby, which was really tough because we missed him. But got up, only got about 4 or 5 hours of sleep at the most, and didn't want to work out today. Didn't want to do it. Didn't, but I knew that I needed to. And it's one of the reasons why I felt like it was really good for me to hop on this broadcast, answer some questions, do what I could, because I also wanted to be real with you. Today is one of those days where I went through the motions. I wouldn't say that I killed it. I wouldn't say that I did this amazing, crazy hard workout. But the fact is, it's about consistency. Okay. Remember, you fail 100% of the time that you don't try. So I figured, what the heck? I'm going to go in, I'm going to at least get some blood moving, and I'll control the diet today. I'll fast today and make it really work. So anyway, okay, I'm going to get back to some questions here. Someone says, what do I think about keto esters? Exogenous ketones in general depends on who you are. If you're using them for like in performance, it can help for in performance. I don't recommend using them for fat loss. Hey guys, can you guys please do me a favor? We got 700 people on this, and I know that not everyone has hit that like button. What that like button does, just so that you know, this isn't just like a narcissistic thing for me. This helps rank the videos higher. I want to get as many people in these broadcasts. I want to get to a point where I hop on a broadcast and can talk to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, but I want to start doing some live events too, like real live in-person events, and go on tour. Like, I'm literally thinking about doing that at the end of 2018, and I can't go do that if I can't reach a lot of people. So hitting that like button helps me reach a lot of people so that I can justify actually saying, okay, I'm going to travel, I'm going to go to Atlanta, then I'm going to go to New York, because I'm already speaking in Austin in a couple of months. I'm already speaking in Seattle in a couple of months. I want to be able to do what I can to talk to all of you. Okay, guys, so someone says, Ishan, you asked about L-carnitine on ketosis. So ketosis is interesting because it doesn't necessarily, when the body starts utilizing ketones as a source of fuel, the body doesn't need L-carnitine anymore, because ketones can transfer fat through the double membrane of the mitochondria without L-carnitine. Isn't that interesting? So Esteban, Austin, Texas, guess what? I'm speaking at South by Southwest March 12th, 4 o'clock. I'll get more details, but I'm speaking in Austin, speaking about omega-3, speaking about algal oil, docosahexaenoic acid. So I will be there. So everyone that's out in Austin, Texas, just so that you know, March 12th, South by Southwest, I will be speaking at South by Southwest, spreading all kinds of health information. So hopefully you guys can make it to that if you're in the ATX area. I'm always in Austin, Texas, used to live there. So basically, back to what I was saying, ketones can cross through the double membrane of the mitochondria. Normally, they require normally fats require L-carnitine to allow them in. That's the job of the L-carnitine. It allows fats into the cell. So in this case, we're in a situation where ketones don't really need it. So L-carnitine isn't quite necessary, but it is necessary if you're planning on having cheat meals now and then to keep your body basically conditioned to be able to utilize that. You guys are super awesome. Man, I got so many people here. What is the minimum and maximum time to dry fast? A lot of questions been coming up about dry fasting. Yeah, because I did that video and it's definitely going viral. It's been huge. Dry fasting is awesome. I would say if you're gonna do a dry fast, it's gonna do is put you in a situation where you can really maximize all the effects of it. So you don't want to be just doing it for a short amount of time, because then all you're doing is just dehydrating yourself. Remember, just full disclaimer, I have to say this, and I know it annoys some people, dry fasting is extreme. You should probably make sure that you, at least keep track of your blood work and keep track of yourself. And that's for purely educational purposes only. MCT and coffee before workout in a fasted state. MCTs will break your fast, my friend. So you want to make sure that you save the MCTs for a day that you're not fasting. They will break your fast. They are still a fat. There's still 8 calories per gram in them, unlike most fats, which are 9 calories per gram. They're not the same long chain triglycerides. They're a medium chain triglyceride, which means they're still a fat. They just absorb faster. What caloric deficit should you be, Joseph says, what caloric deficit should you be in if you're looking to gain mass and trim body fat? Yeah, if that's the case, be in a deficit that's not that big. You want to be in, like 1 to 200 calorie deficit at the most. And then on the days that you fast, do what you can to keep your calorie deficit actually a little bit your calorie overage a little bit. So you actually want to eat more on your fasting days, because you want to be eating more on your fasting days so you can capitalize on the insulin spike to actually gain some muscle. Then on the days that you're not fasting, you want to be eating your calories a bit lower. So for those that are gaining muscle on intermittent fasting, you actually kind of want to reverse it a little bit. Man, you guys are so awesome. Does lemon or lime juice break a fast? Okay, that's a gray area, Jeff. I always say, I always do like a quarter lemon with some apple cider vinegar, even on days that I fast. So I'd be lying if I said that lemon breaks a fast. But if you go overboard and you start doing like 2-3 lemons, yeah, you're breaking a fast. So technically, some will tell me that by having lemon water, I am breaking a fast. And I understand, yes, technically a true fast is a true fast. And I understand that. But lemon does make a big difference in terms of uric acid flushing, the body's utilization of fat. So I feel like it's a wash. And you guys are so awesome. Someone says no to pork rinds. When you're talking about keto, pork rinds are okay. Just go for like the Epic brand. Go for the ones that are super clean. Weigh on ketosis. Totally depends. I'm a big fan of pea protein when doing ketosis whenever possible. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up here really, really soon. So I want to make sure that we can get as many videos. Videos. My wife's just got done with her workout. So I want to make sure I just get a chance to answer at least 1 or 2 questions before I wrap this up. And if we can, guys, please make sure we get one big round of thumbs up on this so we can rank it nice and high. Everybody knows I hop on here and do these broadcasts. But real quick, while I'm here, is there a time of day or a day that is better for broadcast for everybody so that I have an understanding? Also want to know, if I start scheduling out broadcasts where I'm actually post them up ahead of time, where I say I'm going to go live on this date or this time, will that help you out a bit? If that would help you out, I just want to know, just type in schedule. Just type in schedule, because that means that I'll know. I'll go back through the comments later and be like, okay, people that replied schedule want me to actually go ahead and put up a scheduled time. I think it'll help a lot. I didn't realize that YouTube lets me do that from the mobile app now, because usually when I do live broadcasts, I do them from the mobile app, and you used to only be able to schedule from the actual desktop. Okay, everyone's saying schedule. I will start doing that. I'll do what I can to schedule up broadcast. I also want you guys to make sure that you're checking the community tab of YouTube, because I've been posting polls on which videos I want to push out and everything like that. Oh wow, this is awesome. Okay, everyone is saying schedule. Everyone is saying that. Okay, that's awesome. Great question that I think I want to end on. How often do I come out of ketosis, and do I recommend coming out of ketosis? Guys, real quick, bunch of likes. Come on, hit that thumbs up button. How often do I come out of ketosis? So I am more about coming out of ketosis in phases versus shocking. So what I mean by that is, if I am in a hardcore keto mode, I'll stay keto for a good month, maybe even 2 months before I actually decide to pop out of it. And when I do pop out of it, sometimes I'll stay out of it for a couple of weeks to truly restore. So I'm not a big fan of going like 5 days in a cheat meal, 5 days in a cheat meal, unless I'm really in a given training period. So I recommend, if you're gonna get the benefits of keto, stay in keto. you could implement some fasting with it, and you could implement some carbs with your fasting if you're doing that. But if you're trying to really stay keto, just go keto and then take a break from keto. Some will say, Thomas, that doesn't make sense. You need to be keto all the time to have the results. If you're doing it for therapeutic reasons, then keto should just totally become a lifestyle. But I like going through phases of keto just because it helps me out a ton. Guys, say hello to little Tommy. He's gonna wake up. Tommy, what are you doing, buddy? You wakey? Hey, say hi to YouTube. Say hi to YouTube. Everyone say hi, Tommy. This is Tommy Jr. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Everyone say hi, Tommy. Tommy, what is going on? He's seeing all those comments coming across the screen. And he's just going, what the heck's going on? Tommy. That's little Tommy. So Tommy turned 3 months old yesterday. He's so awesome. Guys, what is that big smile? Look at that big smile. Hey, buddy. Wakey, wakey. I love you. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think I got to wrap it up, especially now that baby's awake. So I will start scheduling my broadcasts whenever I can. If you have other questions, just keep on commenting them, and then I will try to answer them in other videos. Someone just said, please answer whey and ketosis. Whey is okay. Just whey isolate whenever possible. Try to go for pea protein if you possibly can instead. All right, you guys, time to chime off. You guys are awesome. See you soon.